If you are running ads to your Shopify store, odds are 1, maybe 2% of those people that land on your website actually buy. But guess what? You don't need more traffic to scale and to fix that, because if you can get that number to go up to just 3%, you're going to double your sales with the exact same traffic, the exact same visitors, and the exact same ad spend. And the good news is today you can automate this entire process with Claude. You see, for the past decade, I've been working with e-commerce brands, helping them scale from 6, 7 to 8 figures. And what I've seen is instead of overspending on ads, sometimes the biggest unlock is simply increasing your conversion rate. That's the high leverage activity that helps brands go to that next level, no matter where you're at, 6, 7, or 8 figures. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact 4-step system I use to do all of this with Claude, with AI. So by the end of this, you're going to be able to audit your store. You're going to find out exactly what's blocking sales and costing you money, and then how you can build and test a high converting landing page, all with Claude. So let's get into it. All right, so step 1, let's find out where people actually drop off. So before you rewrite a single word on your page, you've got to find out where people are actually starting to lose interest in what you offer. Because if you start rewriting your headlines or randomly making tweaks, you can end up spending weeks changing parts of the page that were never the problem from the start. So the first step is to get your numbers together and give them to Claude. Start with your ad numbers, because if your ad is attracting the wrong people, even the perfect page won't get them to buy, won't lift your sales. So I want to start adding in data like what's your cost per click, what's your click-through rate, what's your ROAS, return on ad spend, what's your cost per acquisition, and show it across your different meta campaigns and ad creative. All right, here's a look at the metadata for all of our Instagram and Facebook ads, where you can see the actual click-through rate and the cost per click, cost per add to cart, and the cost per purchase to see which campaigns are doing well for getting traffic efficiently and which ones aren't. Also click into specific campaigns. You can see the click-through rate here and the cost per click for all of the ads. These numbers tell Claude how well your ads are bringing in people before they even see your website. Are they good at attracting the right people at the right efficiency rate? Then I want to add in the Shopify numbers, which shows you what happens once people are on the website. So I'm talking about your conversion rate, your add to cart rate, your bounce rate, your average time on site, just to get a feel for the quality of the audience that the ads are attracting. Here's our conversion rate. So right now you can see the add to cart is at 5%, and then when they convert, it's 2.83%. All right, let me show Google Analytics as well. So you can see the traffic or the pages they land on, the time on site, and then the views per actual user to understand the quality of those pages and the traffic. That way Claude can see what happens before people click your ad, and then once they land on your page, all in one place. The last thing I like to add is qualitative analysis in the form of a heat map. So these other data points tell you what's happening. The qualitative tells you why it's happening. So Claude can see what people are actually doing on the page. So a heat map is essentially a recording of visitors scrolling through the website, what they're clicking on, and you can use a free tool like Hotjar, you have Microsoft Clarity, but the key is to see why people are having issues on the website or why it's working. And so once you give all this information into Claude, you can have it go through everything and show you exactly where people are dropping off. The main thing you want to answer is whether the problem is before the click or after the click, so you know where to focus your energy. So if your ads have a low click-through rate, a low video view-through rate, the problem's the ad, the problem's the hook, the problem's the creative, the angle, the offer. But if people are clicking at a high rate and they're landing on a website and still not buying, then we want to start with the website, with ad landing page, with the cart. So here's what all the results are saying after putting it into Claude. The headline is, hey, the ads are working, the page is the problem. This is where we need to focus. Specifically, the homepage. The pop-up is a problem. People are dropping off here. Once they get to the product page, they're actually buying, but the homepage, the ad landing page, is the real problem. We also know that there's a low time on site from Google, so we really need to win them over within the first 15 seconds on the homepage. So after you do all of that, have Claude work out how much money fixing this would actually make you. I like to quantify the impact of these potential experiments that we're doing, just to know what the opportunity is here, and ask it if I go from my current conversion rate to 3%, 4%, 5%, what this would do to a revenue lift with the existing traffic you already have. What this shows me now is the potential revenue upside if we're able to lift our conversion rate. And by going to 3% or 4% or even 5%, because we're currently at 2.8%, which isn't bad, we're talking about an additional 6 figures per year just by focusing on conversion rate optimization. So this is kind of a no-brainer decision to really focus on the website. And once you get that number, you'll know exactly how much money the same traffic could be making you. And that's the exciting thing with website conversion rate optimization, is it's basically found money that your website is leaking out. All right, step 2, figure out why they're not buying. At this point, you know where people are leaving and roughly what it's costing you, but you still don't know why. And that's what step 2 is for. So if the numbers told you the page is the problem, the issue is that you still don't know exactly what to change about it. So start by giving Claude the actual words your customers see, beginning with your top 3 ads. Show the ad copy, show the transcript, show the video, show the screenshots from it. Here's me pasting them into Claude. There's one ad, here's another ad, and then here's another ad with the copy and the creative. That way Claude has a good read on the ads we're actually doing. This is the exact promise people see right before they click through the page. Then give it your full ad landing page copy from top to bottom, from the hero section, the headline, to the copy, even put everything in the footer. Definitely put all the call to actions. Put the guarantee, put the offer, put the bundle, put the FAQs. This gives Claude the promise in your ad and what your page actually delivers on. And right next to each other, finally paste in your 20 best customer reviews. They give vivid detail on why they like the product, potential objections they had, why they switched from a competitor to you, or the use case for when they use your product. Also, if you have any reviews that speak to the emotion that they have around the problem you solve, that's great as well. You want these in there because your customers describe your product in far better words than you ever will, and that becomes the raw material for your new copy later on. So with all that pasted in, you have Claude run 3 checks on it, and these are what tell you why people are buying your product. First, whether your page keeps the promise you ad made. A lot of brands run an ad about one thing and then the page sends them to something completely different. And that mismatch is usually the single biggest reason people drop off. When those 2 messages aren't aligned, it can create confusion or just make people not as excited. So here's the big mismatch we found with the ads and the landing page. So the ads are very much emotional driven, story driven, but then the homepage, it really gets into a product grid with a generic headline. So there's a disconnect and selling on the emotion and then just getting right into product. So the visitors go from a specific moment they recognize themselves to all of a sudden it feels very transactional. And that gap is costing us conversions. And here's a mismatch for those top ads, from the water balloon test to the emotional ad to the one that talks about the PhD scientist. There's a partial match. And then it's giving recommendations on what to do above the fold so we don't have that issue with the mismatch. Then whether your page talks like your customer or like your brand, which is where these reviews can really come in to be helpful, because Claude can show you every line where your copy sounds nothing like how your customers actually describe your product or your solution. So here's the specific points where the ad copy and the landing page copy do not match, right? So our page says, unlike regular shirts, ours hide sweat. But what customers say is, I used to have to keep my jacket on all day long to hide sweat. Not anymore. Here's another one where we talk about this life-changing sweatproof ad and the magic of it, upgrading a wardrobe. And this one really speaks to the language of anxiety whenever you have sweat stains, what that does for you. So there's lots of these, but what I like here is at the very end is what are the direct rewrites we should be doing with our testimonials to make language that aligns with that ad copy. And the third is which objections a first-time visitor has that your page never answers answers that it never overcomes. So Claude lists the top few reasons someone would hesitate to buy your product and shows you where each one is handled or where it's ignored. And that is so important, especially with that skeptical first-time buyer. All right, so this is one of my favorite ones, is where you're designing a website to address the objections you know people are going to have. And we have an unfair advantage because we have reviews where people talked about why they are skeptical with the product, but we're not using those to update our webpage until now, and thanks to Claude. So a first-time visitor landing on Auditing really has 6 reasons not to buy, and the homepage only answers one of them directly. So now Claude is talking about the ones we should focus on. So does it actually work? Is this just another moisture wicking sweatshirt? We're not really addressing that. Why is it so expensive? Will it actually fit like a normal shirt? If I don't like it, what's the refund policy? Are we legit? I've never heard of Neat. And what makes the fabric actually different from other shirts? This is the only one that we're addressing. So now we can decide which one of these should we be calling out, because we know these are known problems when people are looking to buy. By the way, if you're watching this video, you're likely running paid traffic to a store, but hardly any of those visitors are buying at the scale that you want. So if you want help with that, you can click the first link in the video description below to book a free strategy call with us. We've helped dozens of brands scale past 7 into 8 figures, and we'll take a look at your whole funnel and really diagnose what's working, what's not, what's really costing you the most sales right now. But anyway, let's get back to the video and to step 3. All right, step 3, have Claude build your new page. So now that Claude knows where the problem is and why, you can have it build all the changes for you at once. So what Claude is going to do is write the actual copy and build the new page yourself without you having to make the changes on your own. So go ahead and start with the copy. Have Claude rewrite it using everything it just learned about your customers. The whole idea is that almost every new line should come straight from your customers and what they're already saying. That way your page sounds like people who buy from you. And if you do that, you're inevitably gonna get more sales from it when you speak their language. You can have it do the same type of structure with your guarantee, with your bundle names, so it all still resonates well with your potential buyers and your end goal of what you're trying to sell. Then have Claude reorder the page itself using the heat map data from earlier to drive what people are clicking on and what they're not. Now let's talk about the new homepage order based on the data that we've been feeding in. Here's showing the before and now the after. Still want the announcement bar, but really need to change that key headline to align with the ad copy and to start to address those objections that customers have. And we know that from the reviews and the testimonials. And the reason you're going to do this is you want to put things people actually click on and buy and engage with more towards the top and get rid of the things that they scroll past and doesn't give their attention. That way you reduce fatigue on the website and you make it faster to give them the decisions and things they need to make that buying decision. And the last part of this step is having Claude turn that layout into a full visual mock-up of a new page. And now here's a wireframe mock-up of the old page compared to the new page and what we should be doing. Putting the before and after side by side is where you actually see the difference, because up until now it was just words, and now you've got an actual page that you can make live using an A/B testing tool, a landing page tool, or going live directly on the website. So step 4, let's test it against your current page. All right, so you've got the new page, but the most important part is what do you do with it? Because you don't just swap it out and assume it's better. The only way to know for sure and definitively is to put this page live at the same time against the original one, so you can see which one actually gets more buyers, which one improves the conversion rate. And to do that, you can set it up with an A/B test inside a tool like Shoplift, which is an app that runs right inside Shopify. There's other tools like Convert and Optimizely, VWO, but Shoplift is a good one if you're on Shopify. From there, you set up your traffic and you split the traffic and you decide what you're measuring. I like to start with a 50-50 split, and then I really care about the main conversion of it being purchase conversions. You could also do add to carts, and there's other metrics as well that you could do. So conversion rate is the number you care about the most, but those other numbers can tell you whether the new page is also getting people to spend more time, more money, or to buy more often, increase the cart size, which can be helpful as well. Once it's live, you're going to give the the page 1 to 2 weeks and watch how it performs. What I care about is getting a big enough sample size of not just traffic, but conversion events on the existing page and on the new page. Ideally, I would want 200 events on each page in under 2 weeks, but sometimes I'll settle for 50 conversion events on each page. And in the first 7 days, you're mainly looking to see if the new page is doing better, because you want enough visitors and conversion events so you can really trust the results. They call it statistical significance, and the testing tool will tell you if you've hit that or not. And when the new page does better, you want to take what you learned, get those insights, and bring it straight back to Claude for the next round of testing. Because where this gets really exciting is when these learnings compound and they stack on top of each other, and the conversion rate has these small wins that add up to have a meaningful impact. Every test teaches you something about your buyers, and you can use that to make the next version of a page or to work on the next part of the website. So now you've got a system that you can keep running, and every round gets you more sales from the same traffic you already have. So you don't have to overspend on ads, but now you can maximize that existing traffic that you have. Now, if you made it to the end of this video and you'd rather not spend your week auditing, rewriting, and testing your own pages and building all these Claude skills, and you want the entire funnel handled for you, that includes your ads, your email, your website, your conversion rate, then click the link below the video, book a free strategy call with us. On that call, we're gonna look at your numbers together. We're gonna find out what's blocking you from scaling and showing you exactly what to fix. You could have our team do it, or we could build the AI system for you. So again, book a free strategy call, click a link in the description below. And if you want to create winning ads with AI and then send them to this new page you've just built, then click this next video. I think you'll get something out of it to help scale your brand.